Hey everyone, so now we are going to get started with brackets. Brackets is a text editor and that's what I'll be teaching you to use. There are lots of other options as always. There's Atom, there's other options. So let's go to brackets and let's start by downloading this. Brackets.io and download brackets. All right, so this is downloading. Let's go ahead and open it. Okay, so I'm opening brackets. And this is what it looks like. So, a few different things to understand when we look at this. So this is our text. The really great thing about brackets that I personally love is that it has live preview. So if we go over here, this will open up our live preview. Then right over here, this HTML here on the left is now presenting itself as a web page on our right. Something I have gotten in the habit of doing is letting each of these take up about half of my screen, and then I can see what's going on the left reflected on the right, and it's just easier that way. We have the getting started with brackets. If I click on that, it's now highlighted this over here. Okay, if I click on this is your guide, it's now highlighted that, which is really great. So then I can say, well, if I want to change this, getting started with brackets, I can come over here and put in something, and now it says that. Great title. Okay, so the next thing we want to do is go over here to our extension manager, and we're going to install brackets Git. So let's type that in. All right, so this is the one, Brackets Git by Martin Zagora, and we're gonna come over here and click install. And these Git settings will pop up. You can always go back and change this, and so for now, we're just gonna press save. Okay, so now if we look on the left, we can see that we have some resemblance of a file structure going on. So this is index, and this is the main.css. Okay, so this is not our HTML, this is not our content, this is not our file structure. So what we need to do now is we need to bring in what we did on GitHub. We need to bring in that file structure to brackets. We're going to open the folder that we created on GitHub. So this is where file organization is important. I know that mine was on my desktop, so I'm on desktop, and I'm going to open up this right here. Okay, so here's my index. And we can see that I have the hello world here. So if I go to my live preview, I should be able to click and see that the hello world is there. So we have hello world showing, which is good. And now we are going to see if we can put in some different HTML and see that reflected here. So one thing I'm going to do is click on this extension, and it should look something like this. If it doesn't, there could be a few different issues. It could be that you haven't actually done one of the steps correctly. So if it doesn't look like this, maybe stop and try and backtrack and see what went wrong. Now I'm going to go ahead and open a new window. And I'm going to go to the W3 school templates. And just for our purposes, I'm going to use the band template. So I'm going to click on Try It Yourself. Again, I like to change up the orientation. So on the left, I can see the HTML and CSS, and on the right I can see the live preview. So I am going to select all of this and copy it. Then I'm going to go back to brackets. I'm going to paste it in my index.html file here. And it looks like it immediately started my live preview, so that's good. So just to make sure, here it is. Great. So now you can go ahead and change it a little bit and just get a feel for the template that you chose. So I could put something in here for the band. And we're going to quickly talk about how we now get what we have accomplished, how we get this to actually show up when we try to go on our website. So right now, if I try to go on my website, it's still going to just say hello world. So let's just refresh. It still says hello world. So what I wanted to do is I wanted to look like this now. And there's another step that we now have to do to get it to do that. So let's just talk about that. If we look at the bottom on brackets, there's a few things that it's important to notice. So we have a commit right here that's currently not highlighted. We have a list of things that'll start to happen here, and it'll say modified and explain what you modified. And then on the bottom right, we have these symbols here. What you want to get in the habit of is saving your work. So in this case, I'm on a Mac. I'm going to press Command S. And you can see this just highlighted. And then I'm going to check here and press Commit. And it's going to ask me to say what I did. So I'm going to say new template. And then you can see over here, it's got this little one that popped up, okay? And it says git push. So I now want to push it, and that is how we're going to get it to reflect on the website that we created. It's called a push. So I'm going to click on push, and it may ask you for your username and password. This is the username and password you used for GitHub. So enter that, press OK, and it should say successfully pushed fast forward. If it doesn't say this, it's likely like a fail or has some kind of error. It's really important to take a screenshot of this so that when we're troubleshooting, we can have something to reference as to why it's not working. Okay, so status done. Okay. So now if I go back to another window, okay, and I refresh this, it sometimes takes a few minutes, but if I refresh it, it should have my new site, which it does. This is great. Okay, good job. If you have questions, ask me, let me know. We're now going to jump into some HTML and CSS tutorials.